Sneak peek number 2. What is going on? I'm Anon Moose. We are here on the dev build. You guys had a ton of questions, and so what I'm going to do here is do a special second sneak peek with the protectors. We are going to be using 100% maxed protectors. These ladies have that glowing fancy pink orb next to them. That means they are completely and utterly maxed. Now, the questions that kept coming in were, do they work with warriors? Do they work with Zookas? Do they work with TGBM? I'm going to answer all of those questions in this video. We're going to go through and use every single troop combo with protectors. Now, if you don't want to watch everything, check the comments down below. I'll throw timestamps in there so you can skip by the ones you don't care about. Now, I'm not going to be using all possible troop combos just because you know someone who does like Scorcher, Cryo, Grenadier doesn't mean that it's a viable troop combo. I'm going to try my best to use every possible tried and true troop combo. If I happen to forget one, throw it in the comments. I will record a video, upload it just for you. Hopefully I don't have to do that because that's going to be a bunch of extra work. But you know what? I'm okay with that. We're going to be attacking using 4 GBE statues, 2 troop health statues, and 4 troop damage statues. Fairly standard attacking statues. You'll notice there's no blue or greens here. I play Boom Beach to blow stuff up, which is why I'm all about the red and purple. Obviously, there's many, many ways to play the game. This is how I'm going to be doing it. Now, we are going to be doing it against this base right here called Protector Test. As you can see there, lots and lots of ice on the left-hand side. It's got 5 boosted blue statues, 5 boosted green statues, because you know what? It's a nice color combo. Green and blue look pretty nice together. But this base is the only base I'm going to be attacking. So it's got some obvious flaws, but you know what? I had to make a base. Chances of me making 2 are pretty darn slim. The dev build, every single base looks just like this one, and attacking this base is not a good test. I mean, this is not a base that will show you if troops are good or not. I could beat this with 1 boat of Zookas or just bullet. Like, it's just not a viable test. So anyways, we're going to be doing this completely unboosted. So without further ado, let's just get into it. We're going to start off with Zookas because that was the first question I had was, do Zookas work? Will they come out of smoke and they're all glowing blue and it's all magical? So you know what? Also, you'll notice I've started an operation. I'm going to show you how protectors potentially work in ops. I have not actually tested myself. I'm very curious to see if they're going to be useful or not. I have some ideas. Anyways, without further ado, let's get rid of the talking and get into an actual attack. So this is a base, a sidewalk base that should be very easy with Zookas. I'm going to leave this boom mine right there in the hopes that the protectors actually get brick to be all blue and glowy. I don't know. They were very attracted to bullet. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case with Miss Brick or not. We're going to have to wait and find out. So what I'm going to do, we're going to walk Zookas along this shore. That boom cannon does not range. As you can see, it's set back from the beach a little bit. Then we're going to drop our protectors right into here. We're going to drop our flare and walk all the way up to that little tiny corner just past the dock. I love that spot for any sort of flare when it comes to Zookas. And then we're just going to see how this goes. Now, you have to remember, they are a medic type troop, so they're not going to stay in behind, but they don't actually heal themselves. So with medics, you'll find that they end up actually staying in behind at the shore and getting stuck and doing all sorts of bad things. With these ladies, they actually do a pretty good job of not dying all by themselves. So by the looks of things, they have not done anything useful for us. All they've really done is taken up 2 boats of troops, so we're going to throw some critters right in there, throw a shock on the critters, and then see if we can take this base down. Now, I'm not seeing any use for protectors at all. We managed to lose a total of 3 or 4 Zookas. I would have lost fewer if I had 2 extra boats of Zookas. So I'm calling that one a bust. That one, to me, I could have done better without the protectors. We actually lost a troop to that boom mine, so they didn't do anything useful for us at all. I'm going to do a quick pause. We'll come back with a different troop comp. Okay, so the obvious question is, do warriors work with protectors? That was number 2. People want to know, will they keep your warriors alive? Will they make things magical? I'm thinking it's not going to be super great. I don't have high hopes, but we're going to give it a shot nonetheless to see if perhaps they're going to like keep warriors alive along the walk, get those fancy blue shields. Now, this base, not super duper difficult for warriors. We could beat this with warriors without any difficulty at all, I think. But you know what? Protectors hopefully are going to make things so much better. Now, we managed to get hit by that boom cannon, which was a bit surprising. I don't know if that was a mistake on my part or what was going on there. Anyways, let's keep walking. I'm also very curious to see if we actually lost a troop because of that boom cannon at shore. Anyways, what we're going to do is hit the core now. I love ground flares with warriors. It just works amazingly well. I have a guess right about now that all of those protectors are just going to get completely and utterly obliterated. We could be wrong, but I do not have high hopes for my friendly neighborhood protectors here. Now, again, the warriors had to do some extra hitting. And you'll notice we lost a total of basically all of the protectors. They did nothing good in that attack. I would not be using warriors with protectors. Might be a little bit different if you have like a center base, but realistically, I don't think there was anything good there whatsoever. So I think warriors are a bust. Let's do a pause. We'll come back with a different troop combo back in a second. Okay, so we've got heavy Zuka loaded. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is walking this ridiculously strong troop combo to the very back of the base and seeing how they do. You'll notice I've got 2 boats of protectors loaded. My plan here, I'm going to keep using 2 boats of protectors until something looks like it might be usable. If this troop combo happens to look viable with protectors, we might switch to 3 boats of protectors. We might switch down to 1, maybe even 4. Who knows? Anyways, first we need to find a troop combo that works. So far, Zookas no-go. Warriors also a big fat no-go. Now, on that last attack, you might have noticed that boom cannon right there somehow shot something. Now, it's set back from the beach. There's no possible way it should be able to shoot something. So I'm very curious to see what it actually managed to shoot. I'm going to drop Zookas, no shot. Going to drop protectors, see what happens. Did it manage? Yeah, so you'll notice the protectors actually stepped forward when they came off the landing craft. They put themselves in harm's way, and it's not super awesome. So they should not be doing that. There's no circumstances when a troop should step forward off a landing craft. So you'll also notice they're lagging fairly far behind, throwing their protective stuff on troops that don't need it. Those Zookas are at the very back of the pack, and as a result, like, our protectors are doing nothing good for us at all. Like, the fact that some random Zuka has a blue shield around it, not incredibly useful. I'm also curious to see if they're going to be able to keep up or not. This attack might be very close to not working. We're going to find out here in a second. Definitely need Bullet here. He's going to throw a taunt. We're going to do what's called a corner anchor hookah attack. These Zookas are going to stand in the corner. Bullet's going to stand out front. We've got 1 protector left that's doing essentially nothing. Bullet's doing all the hard work. Our 1 protector is throwing some blue shields on Bullet, but along that walk, none of our Zookas were protected. None of our heavies were protected, so I am calling that one a bust as well. Protectors did nearly 0 for us. Sure, they kept Bullet from losing a little bit of health, but we also lost like half of them on that walk. That smoke walk wasn't terribly bad. I thought I'd give that about a B plus maybe. Anyways, our Zookas made it. Protectors did not. Protectors did nothing. I'm calling that one busted. We're going to switch troops back in just 1 second. Bomba Deers, very curious to see how Gramps or Diddles or whatever you want to call them are going to do against a real base. I think they're going to be a huge and utter flop. Bomba Deers have low health. The protectors do not do much against splash damage. Let's have a look, see what's going to happen here. And I'm very, very curious on this one because Bombardiers have so much damage per second that if we can get any sort of viable troop, it's going to be amazing. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop all my protectors over here in this corner just because they do like to step out, as we saw in the last attack. Gonna get our Bombardiers in behind everything. Then we're just going to keep our shocks pumping and flowing and see what we can do with these wonderful little dudes. So far, so good. I'm going to throw some GBE onto this rocket launcher because splash damage is going to be a problem. And then we're going to keep walking forwards. Now, you'll notice I did add some medics because we do need some medics, because if these Bombardiers get hit by any sort of splash damage, there's going to be a problem for certain. So now what we're going to do is keep throwing some shocks here. And realistically, not entirely sure that shock was required, but definitely need to get some critters going because Bombardiers versus mines, Bombardiers versus splash damage, huge, huge problems just waiting to happen. So anyways, let's keep... And now, right now, we haven't really done anything. So far, this base is just standing up on its own without a heck of a lot of work on our part. So Bullet staying alive, protectors not really doing anything. Actually, you know what? It just saved our one Bombardier from getting hit by that sniper tower over there. So far, not bad. Now the question is, I don't have enough GBE for shocks. How are we going to do against those rocket launchers off to the sides? So far, our medics and protectors doing fairly okay. We've only lost, what's that, 1, 2 so far? Not terribly bad at all. Need to keep Bullet alive to have any sort of chance. We're going to throw a med kit on top of our medics. Our Bombardiers staying alive pretty darn okay. Not super sold, but one bonus thing about these protectors is they do stay in behind, which means they're going to stick around with your Bombardiers. You know what? We managed to take this base down, so that kind of proves me wrong. Bombardiers, with enough damage, with enough planning and a little bit of skill, we managed to take this base down with, and it had a doom cannon. It had a, what has it got? It's got a damage amplifier, so I think I'm possibly wrong. Bombardiers with protectors, I would call that pretty darn good. Obviously, attack might have been able to be a little bit better, but I'm going to put that one in a check in the Bombardiers category, in that column. That's what I was trying to say, column. Anyways, we're going to switch it up. We're going to get rid of that medic. We're going to bring in one fewer. You know what? Let's try it without medics. Just curious to see if the medics were the MVPs there or if it was a combo effort. Let's go. No medics, all Bombardiers. See if we can walk in here and possibly just wreck this base. I really, really don't think it's going to happen. But again, I have been wrong at least once before. Let's get all of our dudes over into that corner. See if we can't. Let's BART out this rocket launcher. One less thing that's going to be throwing some splash damage our way is definitely a good idea. One fewer thing, my apologies. English is my first language. I should be able to speak it. Anyways, let's go. Getting the Bombardiers walking forwards. This base is not well set up to defend against Bombardiers at all. I will definitely give it that. The fact that we managed to walk all the way into this base, picking up free GBE, is not a good base at all to combat Bombardiers or to combat Grenadiers, to combat basically anything. If your base is set up like this, please make sure you have something that makes the shore a little bit difficult to attack against. Overall, I'm fairly impressed though. Like, Bombardiers on their own, look at that. Bombardier just got shot straight in the face by that boom cannon, did not die. We have not lost any troops yet at all. Now we just need to shock that doom cannon there. Bullet also MVP all the way, of course. No doubting that whatsoever. But the fact that protectors like to stay back and there's a lot of protectors for not many troops is definitely a benefit. So I'm very, very curious to see if we're going to lose any troops on this attack. So far, protectors staying back. This is a bad sign for those of you who like defensive layouts, because Bomba Deers are ridiculously strong, and if these protectors make them even stronger, it's gonna be look out. So so far, still have not lost a single troop. Obviously, the Bombardiers, if they hit too many mines, we're gonna have a problem, except if the ladies can keep them with those lovely, lovely blue shields on. Look at this. Against a 5 boosted ice base, we managed to walk through with Bombardiers, and I have got to eat crow, because these dudes and ladies combo effort, wow. 1 troop lost. I don't know when that was lost, if it was a boom mine or what went on, but Bombardiers with protectors, I'm calling that one a huge, huge win. Anyways, moving on to the next troop. Okay, so typically you would have some Grenadiers with your tanks and your medics. We're going to go straight up tanks, Bombardiers, protectors. Really, there's no point for having Grenadiers unless they're going to clear some mines for us. But on that last attack, you'll notice that the ladies and dudes managed to hit mines without any problems at all. So I have an inkling that this might work. Now, as you saw in the last time, my inklings have been wrong before, but I'm very, very curious to see if this is just going to be some ridiculously strong op combo where they can't be beat. Watch this boom cannon, no concerns whatsoever. So all you have to do is watch there and see which of your troops has that beautiful blue glow. And you can let that boom cannon shoot it in the face before you go ahead and shock it. So very, very useful there. But you notice the protectors are staying towards the back. They like to stay at the back for the troops. Now, that's generally going to be okay because our tanks do have quite a bit of health, but you'll notice that our tanks are not getting healed by anyone right now. So probably going to need to mix some medics in with our tanks, because otherwise our tanks are just going to have this slow war of attrition. So anyways, let's give a shock to that Doom Cannon. Keep our troops moving forwards. Overall, pretty darn good, but I really do think that we're going to need some form of medics when it comes to having our tank, Grenadier, Bombardier, whatever it might be, because otherwise you'll see that our tanks are slowly going down in health off to the left-hand side there, and we really, really don't want that to be happening. So having to throw medkits on your tanks is not, it's like using a glass of water to put out a fire. It's not going to do a heck of a lot, and that boom cannon over there is going to be taking them out bit by bit, simply because our protectors are focused on the back troops not being super duper useful. So we've found so far that protectors are very, very good when you have a low number of troops, whether that is Bombardiers or Grenadiers. When you get them mixed in with Zookas or rifles or heavies even, they just don't do nearly as well. So I would highly recommend so far to get those protectors with a small number of troops and see if that's going to be the viable option. So far, Bombardiers, Grenadiers, Tank Medic, all very, very good. Speaking of Tank Medic, I guess we should probably do that next. But again, we haven't lost yet, but I would call this busted. I mean, our tanks were not super useful because they didn't have any medics to keep them happy. So what we're going to do here, we're going to switch out a couple of our troops. Let's get rid of 1 Bombardier, bring in some medics, and see if that can't make things a little bit more useful. Holy troop combos, Batman. Here we go, over into the side, walking our troops over, out of range of that boom cannon, obviously. Now, I probably should just use our GBE to get rid of this Doom Cannon. That would make a lot more sense, I think. Boom Cannon going to shoot someone in the face, shot a Bombardier, and they died. Not a good start at all. So we've lost 1 troop so far. 2 troops so far. 2 Bombardiers because I was not paying attention. I was too busy trying to throw my GBE onto that Doom Cannon over there. highly, highly recommend throwing your GBE before you drop troops. Operations, PvP, it just makes everything go that much easier. I like to talk about things as if I know what I'm talking about after the fact. Obviously, I made that mistake. Hopefully not going to make it again. Troops moving forward. You'll notice those side tanks are getting healed by our wonderful friends, the medics. So in certain circumstances, I really do think you're probably going to have to mix some medics in with protectors. But you'll notice they're not throwing the shields where I would like them to go. Medics also don't tend to heal troops that you want them to heal all the time, so not a huge surprise there. You'll notice that tank right there about to die as I'm about to zoom in and show it die instead of keeping our other troops alive. Let's throw some shocks, keep things walking forward. Thank you for bearing with me. This is going to be a long doozy of a video, but if it helps someone attack a base or figure out a strategy for when these things come out, all the better. You guys have said you like long videos. This is probably the longest video I'm going to make in a long, long time. So thanks for bearing with me. One other thing to note, by throwing some damage onto that boom cannon, we will hopefully get our Bomba Deers to attack it. Bomba Deers have the same targeting mechanism as Zookas. They target the most damage that's in range. Sadly, that boom cannon was not in many of their ranges. This not super good. So obviously taking away a boat of Bombardiers just meant that we ended up with a little bit less damage. We're probably 99% likely to take this base down, but I'm not super sold on this combo. Our protectors, as you can see, most of them still have that beautiful blue shield. Look, have I shown you them doing their fancy healing? They put their hands in the air and do this like shaman type ritual, but nonetheless, that is Bombardiers with tanks. I am not super sold on that. The fact that they don't have this long range and they tend to stay towards the back of your troops just means that the troops that are going to get shot in the face, i.e. the tanks, not super duper useful. So anyways, let's switch it up. I'm going to bring in all tanks. We're going to go, if you've ever used banks, banks are all tanks with bullet. Very, very strong troop combo. But we're going to throw some protectors into the mix and see if this is the new amazing meta. Now, I don't think protectors will be around when the Mega Crab is here. I think they're going to try to like stagger them so we have Proto Troops and then the Mega Crab, kind of like they did all along, having the things leave, but I don't know. So let's keep things rolling forwards. Here goes nothing. Using banks with the protectors, dropping those protectors first over in that corner, because as we saw, they like to step forward. Easy way to get them out of harm's way. Drop them off to the side. Now, you'll notice in my previous video, they just flocked after Bullet like he was the best thing since sliced bread. This time, they're actually sticking around with the tank, so it might have to do with the fact that they preferred units that do damage. Not entirely sure how they pick what the heck they're going to protect. But overall, so far, I mean, banks are so incredibly strong on their own, and so mixing them in with these protectors, probably going to save our troops from when they hit that boom mine. Very curious to see. Let's just have a quick look here as they walk into that boom mine. I don't even know what happened. I think they managed to not take any damage, but there is one tank that's almost dead. So either it got shot by a boom cannon. Uh-oh, Bullet's about to die. That was just complete and utter failure on my part. So now we're going to see what these protectors are made out of, which is why I let Bullet die, of course, because that makes perfect sense, right? Anyways, moving these things forward, I wish I could do a standardized test where Bullet was guaranteed to live and it was just magical, because obviously Bullet dying here, but maybe that's a good test. Maybe you have a hard time keeping Bullet alive when you use banks. Very curious to see. Right there, tank shot in the face, protected by the protector. I really need to get a better verb. Protected by the protector just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I mean, obviously it makes sense, but it's just not nearly as good as it could be. So banks with protectors, I'm not sold on this. With tank medic, they kept our medics alive, and our medics also kept a couple tanks alive. If Bullet was alive, we probably would have taken this down. This is probably just me not having played Banks in months and months. But overall, not super sold on protectors with tanks. Again, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if I did something wrong on any of these attacks, and I will potentially redo the attacks just for you. Protector trying to get their blue magic. You see that? Shock launcher. Instant shield gone. They're only throwing out 125 health shield. Now, that might be aided by troop health. I don't know the answer to that one. I will try and do some testing. I kind of doubt it, though. The fact that that shock launcher is instantly getting rid of that shield just means that I don't think it's a good test at all. So, okay, next troop combo. Gren Medic Protector. I think this, based on the Bomba Deers, this should be good. Grenadiers have more health than protectors. We've got medics, we've got protectors. Let's see how these dudes and ladies mix together. Obviously, we're going to drop protectors over in the corner first. We've already talked about that too many times, so I need to stop talking about it. We're going to throw a barrage or two on that Doom Cannon, just because, really, I don't want to have to worry about Doom Cannon popping our ladies and dudes from the sides. Now, we're going to have to... We got critters coming forwards. Protectors do not throw their spells on critters, which is a little bit unfortunate. But as you can see there, they are just spamming our dudes with those wonderful, wonderful blue shields. So far, I've got high hopes for this. Just the fact that so many of our Grenadiers have that wonderful blue bar above their names, I think this is going to be a good one. And also, Gren Medic is ridiculously strong. One thing that Grenadiers can do that Bomba Deers can't is just get spammed by rocket launchers. They have way, way more health than Bomba Deers. They also, by effect of them missing, they clear mines like absolute crazy. So I think this is going to be a complete and utter success. I'd be very surprised if this was not absolutely, absolutely amazing. So let's get a couple shocks over here. Probably not super required, but anyways, so far we've lost, it looks like 0 troops. Not super duper surprising. We're going to move over away from that boom cannon as it comes unshocked, and then just pushing forward with our lovely, wonderful Grenadiers. I already love this combo. I love playing with Grenadiers simply because they're cheaper than Bomba Deers. They do not nearly as much damage as Bomba Deers, but they miss. And once you figure out how to make your Grenadiers miss in a good way, you clear so many mines and other buildings and pick up extra GBE in the process. So I'm just going to leave them at this point. I'm very curious to see if we'll actually lose any troops by not doing anything at all but from this point forward. So all we're going to do at this point is watch. We've already proved that Bombardiers work very well with Grenadiers, so I think it's basically a given that they're going to work. I think Everspark is probably going to die. One other thing to note, I did not mention this in previous video. The actual range of the new engineers is 10 tiles. They were 7 before, which is about what a Zuka is. They are now 10, which is about what a Grenadier is. So also what Everspark is. So the new engineers are going to be very, very interesting. They were a flop when they first came out. Look at this, though. Grenadiers still staying strong. Very, very healthy dudes. And the protectors are just making things extra, extra strong. I think that was our first couple troops we've lost. So what I need to do is get rid of one of these rocket launchers, leaving them to their own devices. Doesn't seem like it was the best option. Let's throw a med kit out there. We should try to salvage this attack. Trying to do different attacks where no other troop was just left to their own devices. So doing that to the Grenadiers just wasn't super fair. Anyways, let's get them over against this wall. See if we can't take this down. I really hope that one person on the internet appreciates this video because it's been a ton of work, but something like this has never been done. And when Boom Beach gives us the sneak peek access to the protectors, they don't tell us what troops they envision them. I really, really would love that. So Supercell, if your developers are watching this video, when you create a new troop, please, I would love to see which troops you think they're going to be good with, which ones you think they're going to be bad with. because I'm assuming there's been some player tests happening, and so me spending all this time to figure out a way to use them is fun, but I would love to have a little bit of a hint from Supercell for sure. Now, me just leaving them wander, I'm still going to call that a win. Grenadiers with the protectors and medics, very, very strong. Let's do an operation attack. We're going to bring Everspark. We're going to put our universal remote in, and I'm just very curious to see if we attack Maze right here, right now, if those protectors are going to keep her alive. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to mark all of these rocket launchers. I'm simply going to try to triple hack. That is all I want to try right now, because that seems to me like a perfect example of where these troops are going to be incredibly useful, maybe. Now, maybe we can do a triple hack and a resmoke. I really, really don't know. There's a shock blaster right in there. I probably should throw some critters in here just because. 1 hack, 2 hacks, 3 hacks, and a resmoke. Boom. Instant reason for our love. Oh man, look at that. That is not good at all. So the protectors kept Everspark alive, yes, but you know what else? They kept those rocket launchers alive. I did not see that coming. Holy crow, that is a bug. I think that's got to be a bug, right? I mean, I want to try that one more time because that was a huge, and my mind just exploded and I have no words to say right now. So let's do a quick pause. We'll come back in just 1 second. Okay, we're going to go outworks this time because I need to see this again because that was mind blowing. I mean, it makes sense to a degree, but holy crow, that was not what I expected to happen at all. Let's get Miss Everspark in here. We are going to mark all of the rocket launchers because we really, really do want to hack all 3 of those rocket launchers. We're going to drop Everspark right into that smoke. We're also going to drop our protectors in, and then we're going to flare right about here, just because I want to make sure that we don't let Everspark stand in the middle of barbed wire. Hacking from inside barbed wire, not a good idea at all because it slows things down. Bad things will happen. Now, can we triple hack? I really, really don't know, but I can't wait to see what happens with those protectors. Where, so somehow Everspark got shot in the face, and look at that, protectors protecting the rocket launchers. Not good at all. So if you're going to use Everspark to try to hack things, I do not recommend using protectors at all. That is a huge, huge revelation right there. So happy we did that because that is going to be a problem. So anytime you're using Everspark with the universal remote, whether it's an operation attack, a player versus player base, do not use protectors because that is going to be a massive, massive bug. I'm going to pause for just a second, go through my list of troops, and then we'll possibly come back with 1 more or 2 more troops, or we'll just call the video a day. I'll back in a second. Okay, so in my last video, I did RCZM. We found that with rifles and Zookas, protectors not super useful. They stay towards the back. We also did tank medics in my previous sneak peek, so we're not going to do those ones. Go check out that video if you want to see those troops. Otherwise, that is everything that I could think of. If I missed a troop combo, I apologize. It's getting late here. This video has been incredibly long, but I'm so happy that we found that Everspark bug, feature, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully this opened your eyes, gave you an idea of which troops you want to use. If I missed something, don't forget to throw me a comment on YouTube. I will give it a shot. Otherwise, as always, thanks for coming in. Don't forget, please consider, if this was helpful, throw my name in the creator boost. It is ZMOT. I will get some extra pennies thrown my way by Supercell. Every little bit helps right now. Otherwise, throw me a comment, like, share, subscribe, click that bell. I've got more great stuff coming in the next little while. Don't forget to subscribe so you get reminded about it. Otherwise, that's it. That's all. I'm zmot. Hope you enjoyed. As always, thanks for coming in. Peace.